and his pulpit would have been where the flags are today.
Yeah.
Yes. And he would have come in through a big door there. So it was, but it looked as if you leant against a wall, you know, it might give in, don't lean on the wall. And that ceiling, you know, might fall in on us any minute. It was that feeling when they were here. That's what they say in the letter. Yeah.
ഇതാണ് വില്യം കേറി പ്രീച്ച് ചെയ്ത ചർച്ച്. ഇതിപ്പോൾ റിനോവേറ്റ് ചെയ്തു, എന്നാലും ഇതാണ് ദ ഒറിജിനൽ ബിൽഡിംഗ്. ഒറിജിനൽ ബിൽഡിംഗ് റിനോവേറ്റ് ചെയ്തതാണ്. ദ ഒറിജിനൽ പ്ലേസ്. വില്യം കേറി ഇവിടെയായിരുന്നു ശുശ്രൂഷിച്ചത്, പാസ്റ്ററായിട്ട് ശുശ്രൂഷിച്ചായിരുന്നു. ബാപ്റ്റിസ്റ്റ് ചർച്ചാണ്.
So it was, well, yes, that's the funny tablet. I think he'd either be amused or very cross with it. I don't know whether you even know that word, illustrious. We don't use it much these days. But it meant very, very important. He would have loved to have been called illustrious. And he would, you know, he wasn't the founder of this place of worship. He just rebuilt it.
Yeah, but it is written honored founder of this place.
Yes.
But actually he rebuilt this.
Yes. And 4 years, well, 2 years officially, because he was turned down to start with by Oni. And the devoted pastor of this church, well, yes. Afterwards became the evangelist of India. Don't think so. He'd have laughed at that. Professor of Sanskrit and other languages.
Professor of Sanskrit too.
Well, Sanskrit, yes, he quite early learnt Sanskrit because he realised it was the basis of so many Indian languages. And that's the College of Fort Williams, where the posh kids went. Father of modern missions.
Modern missions.
Quite, he would really have liked to have started a mission that was interdenominational, but he felt that the time wasn't right. But it was really quite soon after the Baptist Missionary Society was founded that other denominations, you know, wanted to do the same. So that's what it used to look like before it fell off the wall. This is before it fell off the wall.
Okay.
It was there.
So what happened to Dorothy? She died early?
Yes, she died in about 1807. She died of fever in the end, but before then she became very seriously mentally ill. She was psychotic, really. She was convinced that he was having affairs with every woman in sight. And she would have nothing to do with him, you know, which was so good that they were living in community, because Hannah, again, looked after her tenderly. And she was very angry with Carey and shouted at him and threatened him and took a knife and everything, you know. It was very, very difficult. But what pleased me was that I read recently that Hannah's son, who was born there, wrote a biography of Carey. And in it he says that he doesn't know how he managed to do all the work that he did because of her raving, you know, in the room next. They had to confine her to her room. But that he never heard him speak to her without courtesy and compassion. So that pleased me to read that.
So what about the generations of William Carey? Children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren.
Yes. Well, I often have people coming who have descended from them. And the other week, in August, I had 3 generations: a grandmother, her son, and her grandson. And her 8-year-old grandson, it was quite clear that he didn't know anything about Christianity, you know. So it was quite nice. It felt quite a privilege to tell him, you know, about what motivated his granddad. And I've got a picture of him at the mural where he's looking and pointing to the early life of Carey, you know, and thinking, oh, you know, that's my great ×6 grandfather there. And he liked books too, and things like that. And,
but they are not followers of Jesus Christ.
Not yet, no. The grandmother was, but it hasn't been you know. So I have a number of descendants who aren't.
Living in UK.
Oh no, they come from all over the world.
All over the world.
Would you? I've had people from South Africa and from New Zealand and Australia and even South America and Africa. They really have spread out all over the world.
But few are here in UK?
I've got a few here, yes. Some people I write to quite frequently. They're always,
But no preachers among these.
let me think. No, I don't know any who've been preachers. No.
Yeah.
I mean, his children all went into mission work.
All children.
Yeah.
All except the eldest son.
The eldest son. Okay.
You've read about him.
Yeah,
haven't
yesterday I
you?
was reading all this.
Yes, it was the last one. I mean, I have met Christians, Christian descendants as well, but I've met others who aren't. And I'm always quite pleased actually to be able to share.
Any of his children remained in India?
Not that I know of.
No. All of them.
Because English people aren't very welcome.
Oh,
in India
yeah.
these
All of
days
them.
anyway.
All of them returned to UK that time.
And you know, our harvest appeal was this year. Oh no, that's. I haven't got one. I had a leaflet about it. No, I haven't. It was for evangelism, native evangelists in Bangladesh that BMS is supporting. They're supporting training programs and living costs and enabling them to respond to flooding and that sort of thing that so often happens there. So that was what our harvest appeal was for. So BMS has changed its emphasis quite a lot. They're much more international in outlook. It's not, all the white people going abroad sort of thing. It's supporting mission where it's happening by local people these days.
Yeah.
There are still some Europeans who are going. Please, let me just tell you about this window, because this was given to us in 1996 to express the vision of Carey that developed in this place, of the need of the church to take the message of God's love as made known in the Bible, which everyone needs in their own language, to the whole world that God loves, and expect great things from God, attempt great things for God. And I think it's still a message to the church.
It's
today,
still a
isn't
message.
it?
Still a message. All.
Oh, yes, I'd forgotten that was there. Yes. Anyway, I'd be very grateful if you'd sign our book, and you'll see that. Oh yes, rather a lot of people from Kerala just lately. Thank you. Just your names are fine.